Hello, I'm Mark Ells, Barnstable Town Manager, and this is my Town Manager update for October 9th through October 22nd, 2024. An updated budget action calendar for the fiscal year 2026 operating and capital improvement plan are attached to my report. We've begun our capital and operating budget preparation with budget instruction scheduled issued to staff last month, actually. So we're well into doing our preliminary budgets at this point. Town Council is scheduled to conduct a joint meeting with the school committee on October 24th, 2024, in accordance with the town charter, to review financial conditions and financial policies of the town. Mark Milne, Director of Finance, has provided an update on the Town Council's financial conditions for the joint meeting of the Town Council and School Committee, meaning he's pre-recorded this, and this information is available on video on demand. I've given you a link in my report, and on YouTube, again, another link. We've also put his PowerPoint presentation on the Town Council's webpage, so you can access all the information ahead of time, and then Mark will be doing this presentation at the Town Council meeting on Thursday evening. At the November 7th Town Council meeting, the Finance Department will present the FY 2025 tax levy shifting options. The objective of the presentation is to illustrate the impacts on tax bills when deciding on a minimum residential factor, commonly referred to as splitting the tax rate, and the adoption of a residential exemption. The fiscal year 2025 property values are currently being updated, and the presentation will include the proposed values subject to the Mass Department of Revenue's review and approval. The proposed values could change slightly, but should not have a significant impact on the tax rate or tax levy. Property values must be approved by the DOR before the Town Council can vote on these two options. We anticipate the approval of the fiscal year 2025 property values before the November 21st Town Council meeting, and we anticipate including these two votes on the November 21st agenda for Town Council action. As previously reported, on September 10th of this year, I sent two letters regarding the recent Vineyard Wind turbine blade failure. One letter was sent to the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management expressing concern about the impacts of the turbine failure on the marine environment and the lack of information provided to date on the impacts by regulatory agencies overseeing the project. The other letter was sent to the Mass Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs asking questions regarding many areas of concern, including state jurisdiction on the matter, to public safety risk on beaches. There was a whole range of questions included. You can find both of those letters under the Town Manager website and attached to my last Town Manager communication. On October 7, 2024, I met with state officials regarding the letters sent to EOEEA, that's the state agency. And on October 11, 2024, I received a letter from BOEM, that's the federal agency. I've attached that letter regarding the letter that I sent back on September 10th. And BOEM offered a virtual briefing to discuss processes for offshore wind development and actions in response to the Vineyard Wind blade incident. I'm coordinating a response to BOEM for the virtual briefing with Town Council leadership and our legal staff, and I'll keep you advised as how we will progress on this matter. Back on July 18, 2024, Town Council voted to approve item 24240, appropriation order in the amount of $1.15 million in community preservation funds for the acquisition of property located at 211 Cedar Tree Neck Road in Marston's Mills for open space and recreational purposes. Pursuant to the provisions of the Community Preservation Act, the amount of $450,000 would be appropriated from the amount set aside for open space and recreation, and the amount of $700,000 be appropriated from undesignated funds within the Community Preservation Fund for the purposes of acquiring land at the 211 Cedar Tree Neck Road, Marston's Mills, map 076, parcel 025, for open space and recreational purposes. It was further ordered that the town manager, on behalf of the town, hereby is authorized to expend the amounts appropriated and to take or acquire the property through a negotiated transaction subject to oversight by the Community Preservation Committee, and to negotiate, accept, approve, execute, receive, deliver, and record any written instruments to effectuate this order and complete the transaction. Prior to the town making an offer to purchase, the seller accepted another offer to purchase. Therefore, the funds will not be used for the purchase of the property and will be returned to the Community Preservation Act Fund. That concludes my town manager update for October 22nd. Now, we'll have Sarah Ahern, Superintendent of Barnstable Public Schools, to provide us an update on maintaining healthy indoor air quality at Barnstable United Elementary School and throughout our Barnstable Public School system. And then that will be followed by Chris Gadd. Welcome, Chris. I don't know, this may be your first time presenting during Town Manager Communications. Chris is our Communications Assistant for the Department of Public Works, and he'll provide an update on water resource management planning, including the comprehensive wastewater management plan. So thank you.
Hello, I'm Sarah Ahern, the Superintendent of the Barnstable Public Schools, and I'd like to thank Mr. Els for providing me with this opportunity to update the Council and our community on our efforts to maintain healthy indoor air quality at Barnstable United Elementary School, or BUES, and all of our schools throughout the district. I won't rewind to the very beginning. I will point you to the BUES website, where we have been archiving all of our reports and presentations. But to summarize, we had an issue regarding mold at BUES, and the core of it stemmed from a massive rainstorm that we had in mid-July. And because it was summer, there were dried traps from the plumbing, which allowed pressurized moisture from the sinks to be pushed into the school building. The air conditioner was running, and that resulted in condensation of moisture throughout the school. Whenever we have incidents of mold in our buildings, which do come from time to time, small spots can be removed by our custodial staff using appropriate cleaning solutions and the appropriate techniques around which they get trained. But in this circumstance, the remediation efforts that were attempted weren't going to work long-term until we addressed the root causes. With more intense storms and additional heat and humidity we experience in the summer, moisture management is going to be something we must all get better at, whether in our schools, in the municipal buildings, and also in our homes. By way of background, if you're interested to know more about our strategies, the Barnstable Public Schools has, for some time, used the Environmental Protection Agency's resource tools for schools. This is linked on the BUES website. The emphasis of this approach is on the responsibility that everyone has to maintain healthy indoor air quality. Indeed, we made a significant investment following our initial remediation efforts by contracting with ServiceMaster to remediate the mold this summer at BUES. Multiple system issues contributed to the event, and as soon as we were aware of the scope of the problem, we moved quickly to address it promptly and comprehensively. While over $500,000 has been spent to address the issue, it was not the totality of that went directly towards the mold cleanup. I think it's important to note that a significant investment of $160,000 was made to attend to our HVAC system, including a thorough cleaning, replacement of filters, and repair and replacement of any operational but nearing their end-of-life parts, such as motors. This is work that we should be doing, and I think is money well spent going forward in terms of ensuring healthy indoor air quality in the school. Additionally, because of the moisture that built up, about 60% of the ceiling tiles were removed due to water damage and replaced at a cost of approximately $150,000. Replacing these tiles has been a recommended capital project from the facilities condition assessment and needed to be done anyway. We anticipate proposing a completion of all of the replacement of the tiles in the FY26 capital budget process. Several reports and resources are supporting our ongoing efforts to maintain healthy indoor air quality. This includes recommendations from the Department of Public Health and a local consultant, Dr. Marina Brock, who is an independent subject matter expert affiliated with Soterra Environmental Health and Safety, and she specializes in occupational and public health and safety. Most notably, you might see around the school building that we've removed a significant amount of vegetation around the perimeter of the school in order to promote evaporation of moisture from the school building, and we've also cleared the gutters. More work is happening in the interior of the building as well, and it's all revolving around this idea of moisture management. We've conducted additional assessments this fall, including a tape analysis to take samples from hard surfaces, and we conducted indoor mold air testing last Thursday. Thus far, all of our consultants have indicated the overall indoor air quality at BUES is within normal and acceptable ranges. But recognizing that concerns still persisted, we conducted that additional air testing last week and are currently awaiting the results. Long term, we do have recommendations that we're following, and we have engaged with a structural engineer to inspect the building envelope, the attic, roof, gutters, and its drainage. We expect a report and recommendations to be forthcoming, which we will share with the community. Additionally, a mechanical engineer has been on site to inspect the HVAC. They too will provide a report and recommendations. At this time, we are evaluating our current capital improvement projects and will incorporate appropriate recommendations into them and modify those projects if necessary. We remain informed of additional strategies that have been suggested, but we are not rushing to solutions. We will evaluate these as part of a comprehensive approach. We want to make sure that we're moving in the right direction in the long run regarding our efforts. As a means of securing longer-term and ongoing preventative support, the district is issuing a request for proposals for mold prevention and on-call environmental services consultant through the town's procurement office. The successful consultant will assist the district by offering expertise in microbiology, public health, and building systems to develop, implement, and maintain effective mold prevention strategies within our school facilities over a sustained period of time, up to 3 years. I want to be sure to thank employees of town departments who have assisted our staff. This includes the town manager and assistant manager, the human resources office, procurement, the building department, health department, and structures and grounds.
Hello, my name is Chris Gadd, and I'm the Communications Assistant for the Department of Public Works, here to give you your Water Resources Management Update. First, a few administrative items. Back in September of 2023, we had submitted a watershed permit to the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection. The Mass DEP has completed their administrative review on August 1st, and we last held a technical review meeting with Mass DEP on September 16th. During that meeting, they gave us a few minor comments, and we are currently preparing responses to those comments. A comprehensive wastewater management plan ad hoc advisory committee was established by Town Council on September 5th of 2024. This committee will be instrumental in preparing policy and adaptive management recommendations that will be presented as part of the 5-year update, which is a requirement of the CWMP, and that should come at the end of 2025. The first meeting of the committee was held on October 22nd, 2024, and as with all town committees and meetings, it is available on Barnstable Government Access. There are 2 notices of project change that we want to bring to your attention. These were submitted to the Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs on August 7th and August 23rd of this year. And then the Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs responded to us at once for both notices on September 30th. So the notice of project change number 2 adds 65 parcels that were not originally identified in the CWMP. Those are 46 parcels along Orrs Avenue, Mitchell's Way, Holmes Lane, North Street, Stevens Street, and Pleasant Hill Lane in Hyannis, as well as 11 parcels along North Street and Bassett Lane, again in Hyannis. There's also 8 additional parcels identified as part of project change number 2, and these will be in Mark's Path, just right next to the Barnstable Adult Community Center, and those will connect up to Route 28. Part of project change number 2, is also a pump station at 268 Stevens Street. This is currently an empty lot just north of North Street, and as always, we'll be doing landscaping to hide its presence as much as possible. And the notice of project change number 3 just provided additional details on the water pollution control facility upgrade that was not available at the time of the initial writing of the CWMP. If you would like to read the entirety of our application or the Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs response to it, it is posted on the Barnstable Water Resources site under the Reports and Documents page. And now we get to go over into our active construction projects. Strawberry Hill Road Sewer Expansion is in project closeout phase. Connections are ongoing. There are 151 eligible parcels. Of those 151, as of the time I'm giving this report, 42 sewer connections have been completed, and there are 26 active sewer connection permits open. The Health Division just sent out a 5-month reminder letter, so we anticipate that number to continue climbing until we get everyone who is eligible connected. Route 28 East Sewer Expansion Project is also in the project closeout phase, but not quite ready to have people connect to sewer yet. We do anticipate that by the end of the year. Once sewer connections are available, the communications cadence will follow the same format that was utilized for the Strawberry Hill Road project. That begins with the project closeout letter by the DPW, then the estimated assessment from the treasurer/tax collector, and then comes the notice of sewer hookup. That's distributed by the Health Division, and that's the notice that says you have 6 months from this date to connect. And then the final sewer assessment is distributed by the treasurer and tax collector. Part of this project was also the Finney's Lane pump station at the intersection of Finney's and Route 28. We've been conducting clean water testing with Mass DEP. That is all going well. It is passing with flying colors. The site itself has a few punch list items to finish up, but it is otherwise done. Our next big project is the Centerville Village Sewer Expansion Project. We've just awarded the contract to CC Construction. We've done all the property owner outreach. They've received project notification mailers. There was a public information meeting on October 1st. That was very well attended. We do anticipate construction to begin before the end of the year. We actually have a pre-construction meeting coming up in the next week or two with CC Construction. During that time, they'll give us the exact date of when they anticipate to break ground on that. It is scheduled to be completed in spring of 2027. The south phase, we are continuing to advance the design. Once that design is far enough along, we will do very similar property owner outreach, have a public information meeting, all of that. And construction for that is anticipated to commence in fall of 2025. I'm just going to run through this list real quick. It is all of our additional sewer expansion projects in design. Route 28 West, we've completed the 50% design plan review. We've submitted a state revolving fund loan application. At the October 10th Town Council meeting, Town Council voted to secure the easements that are needed for this project, and we anticipate bidding to occur in the spring, with construction starting in fall of 2025. Finney's Lane neighborhood, this is advancing to final designs. We've sent the notifications for road taking for that as well, and then construction for that will be in 2026. Long Pond area, Long Beach Road, preliminary design and survey, construction in 2027. Great Marsh Road, Chute Flying Hill Road neighborhoods, we are at a 75% survey plan has been received, and that's in review. Construction is going to start in 2028. Old Yarmouth Road, the survey is complete and preliminary design is ongoing. Construction for that is slated in 2028. And then Old Craigville Road, survey is complete, preliminary design is ongoing. Construction is going to start in 2030. So there's much more to continue updating for the years to come. Next up, the 720 Main Street pump station replacement. This is addressing the capacity concerns and some of the aging infrastructure that was existing. The replacement is about 60% complete. If you've walked by or driven by recently, you will see that the structure is advancing above the ground. We expect that structure to be weather tight by December. Part of this project is also conducting in-road sewer work. We anticipate that to start in late fall. And construction on that is anticipated, construction on the entire project is anticipated to be completed in spring of 2025. At our water pollution control facility, the solids processing facility upgrades project is complete and being closed out. The nitrogen removal and headworks improvement project, we just submitted a state revolving fund loan application for that. We've completed our 60% design review, and we anticipate construction for that to begin in fall of 2025. And we also continue our monthly meetings with the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection on our effluent disposal evaluation. Straightway and Hyannisport water treatment facilities. These are maximizing the permitted capacity of Hyannis water system, improving the water treatment process, water quality, and also allowing the water treatment facilities to actually operate year-round. MAPA held a virtual site visit on October 3rd. This is available on Barnstable Government Access. A state revolving fund loan application was just submitted for that project as well, and we anticipate construction beginning on that in fall of 2025. Lastly, water quality over at Clamshell Cove and Old Shore Road in Katuitt. A public information meeting was held for this project on September 30th. Again, that is available on Barnstable Government Access. The design plans themselves, if you'd like to view them, are also on Barnstable Water Resources. Construction for that is anticipated to begin in fall of 2025. The scheduled sampling period for cyanobacteria monitoring ended on September 23rd. When it ended, there was four bodies of water that still had the scheduled sampling period for cyanobacteria monitoring ended on September 23rd. When it ended, there was four bodies of water that still had elevated levels of cyanobacteria. Since that time, 3 of those bodies of water have dropped off, so we're now down to just 1 at Schoolhouse Pond. We are hoping that the testing this week shows that the cyanobacteria levels are at an acceptable level. And we will continue to post water quality updates on the Barnstable Water Resources page, which then gets pushed out thanks to our wonderful town communications team on social media, the My Barnstable app, and all the wonderful places. Lastly, over in Marston Mills, we have the Long Pond Floating Treatment Wetland Pilot Project. This is being conducted by UMass Dartmouth's School for Marine Science and Technology. They collected their first biomass on September 23rd, and they'll be back again in the spring and fall of next year. This project is tracking and determining phosphorus uptake, and a final report is due in 2026. Once they submit that report to the conservation, then we should be getting a copy of it as well, and we will share once we have it. And with that, that concludes our water resources management update. Thank you.